Two persons involved in aircraft accident at Tinsipen Air Drone released from hospital. The two persons who were on board an aircraft which veered off the runway at the Tinsipen Air Drone in Kingston have been released from hospital. The Jamaica Civil Aviation Authority provided the update in the evening. The authority's corporate communications manager, Eva Marie Ingram, said the aircraft involved was registered in the United States.
An aircraft accident which involved a PAE 34 Jamaica twin-engine aircraft occurred at the Tinsipen Aerodrome. The accident occurred approximately 12:40 p.m. when the aircraft veered off the runway while it was attempting to land at the aerodrome. There are actually two persons on board, and both of them were able to exit the aircraft without assistance. They received medical attention at hospital and subsequently released. The JCA has dispatched a team to the site, and the initial investigation has actually commenced.
Funeral operator collapses during memorial service, dies. When funeral home operator Dr. Rich Dolly collapsed Thursday while playing the organ during the memorial service for a popular contractor and hoteler, Dane Butterfoot, those inside at the St. George's Anglican Church in Savannah Lamar, Westmoreland, were alarmed but expected that he would be fine after receiving medical care. He wasn't. Word came later that the well-known owner of Dolly's funeral service died at hospital. His passing and the way in which he died has sent shockwaves of grief across the parish. Doyle was playing the organ before the official start of the service when he fainted. Individuals with medical knowledge attended to him, and a decision was made that he was in need of urgent care. They piled into a car and rushed him to hospital. Dolly, who was unresponsive throughout the trip, did not survive. Unaware of what was happening to their beloved community, stalwarts inside the church went ahead with Foot's funeral. Custos of Westmoreland, Reverend Harley Perrin, knew both men and was the chief clergy who conducted the service for Foot. We had to maintain our composure because there was no organist now. Everybody knew the reason for that, but nobody knew that he passed. Everybody felt that he went to the hospital and will be back, he stated. He explained what took place when news came at the end of the full service. I was on the outside, but based on that, those who were with him inside told me members of the choir threw themselves on the floor, bawling uncontrollably. I heard the bawling outside, but I thought it was related to Mr. Foot. I thought maybe it was his wife, because they were bringing the body to put in the hearse. It was afterwards that somebody told me that Mr. Dolly would not be coming back because he had died, relayed the Custos. He spoke gloomily of Mr. Dolly, describing him as someone who was always giving a helping hand. His generosity knew no bounds. He gave of himself and money to the church, whether it was the playing of the organ, helping out another church to buy an organ, or just helping with the choir retention, he noted. He said Dolly would perform organist duties free of charge, even if the services of another funeral home had been used instead of his. I always said to him that I respect you for that. It shows the extent of the person he was and the generosity of his heart, related the Custos. He said when asked for assistance, Dolly would only give something substantial. Dolly is survived by his wife who lives overseas. JTA says teachers' back-to-school preparations are more challenging this year, as many still reeling from Hurricane Beryl. The Jamaica Teachers Association, JTA, says teachers' back-to-school preparations have been more challenging than previous years, as many of them are still reeling from the passage of Hurricane Beryl last month. JTA President Leighton Johnson told reporters that several educators, especially those from Manchester, St. Elizabeth, and Westmoreland, suffered severe loss during the Category 4 system. Though noting that teachers are gearing up for the classroom next month, Mr. Johnson said it is understandably that some are prioritizing their recovery from the hurricane at this time. Mr. Johnson is urging educators who need support to contact the association.
Back to school is always a festive season for many persons, and what I do know of our members is that preparations are always in high gear for back to school. We continue to sympathize with those of our members who were impacted by Beryl. So those are members especially in Clarendon sections of Manchester and St. Elizabeth all the way back to Westmoreland who were impacted. And of course we know that for those individuals the preparation for back to school will have been derailed or hampered because they now have to focus on getting their lives back together. We ask them to reach out to us, reach out to their regional officers so that we can provide some assistance in whatever way we can. And as an association, we have pledged, we have helped, and we will continue to assist our members in that regard. So as soon as we get to the place where those members are fully up and ready, I'm certain they will return to the classroom to give their all in educating the nation's children.
Duhaney Park residents say no more vendors. Residents of Duhaney Park in St. Andrew have expressed concern about what they say is the commercialization of their community, and they are particularly intent that in the recreational park in the area is being taken over by vendors. The issue of vendors inside the yet-to-be open renovated Duhaney Park recreational grounds has been a long-standing area of concern for the residents. Last Saturday, the residents aired their voices during a community meeting at the George Headley Primary School. They argued that the community is not in need of any more shops and that the park should be off limits to vendors. If you notice, along the strip here in Duhaney Drive is Pure Shop and Supermarket. I believe we have enough of those things there now, and I don't see why we should be bringing down our community by commercializing it in that way, stated Juliet DaCosta, a resident of the community for 16 years. DaCosta said that she and other residents share the view that there should be no market in the park as it is now being fashioned, stressing that the intention was for the park to be a recreational space for residents. When the park was first situated, it was supposed to have been a green space where children and elderly persons could come out and sit and enjoy, but we have seen where vendors are taking it over, lamented DaCosta. Another resident who gave his name as Mushed said his main concern is those little shops in the park, which have been built for a couple of years now and wasting taxpayers' money as far as I am concerned. It has been previously reported that the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, KSAMC, authorized the construction of 8 shops in the community park to be utilized by food vendors. But a representative of the Duhaney Park Community Development Committee had charged the permission for the construction of the shop was done without consultation with residents. I heard rumors that they were renting for $20,000. I think that would be too much. I don't see what kind of profit you could make with a little place like that to pay $20,000 plus light bill and water rate, Mushed stated. He suggested that the park could be otherwise utilized to put on certain functions to maintain it and through our council and even through the Citizens Association. Yet another resident, Neville Oxford, said he is also of the belief that no shop should be inside the park. The park is for we the people and the children, he insisted. In the meantime, Mayor of Kingston, Andrew Swaby, told reporters on Monday that the Member of Parliament for the area, Anthony Hilton, and Councillor Michelle Thomas have reached out to him since he took office in March, seeking his intervention in the ongoing disquiet regarding the park, which led to the committee meeting on Saturday. The impression I'm getting from the community is that they would like to see their children come there to play. They like to just come and sit and watch their children, or to just have some relaxation, and they would like to see functions like health fairs being held in the park, stated Swaby. He said having listened to the concerns of residents, he will be engaging as with his planner to have a look at the park. The planner will come up with a design around the ideas of the residents and then go back to the committee with a proposal to see if it is acceptable, added Swaby. He pointed out that the park was renovated some years ago, but due to the controversy surrounding it, the KSMC has not made a decision as to the management of the park and whether to hand it over to the community. In an effort to create and, in some cases, improve green spaces in and around the corporate area, the KSAMC, under the leadership of the then Mayor Delroy Williams, sought to develop different properties owned by the council to improve such green spaces. The Duhaney Park Recreational Grounds was one of the first projects to be launched under the program. According to the KSAMC, the Duhaney Park Recreational Grounds has been equipped with a children's park inclusive of a jungle gym, swing, 2 tables with seating to facilitate dominoes and draft, and a table tennis, fully bricked parking area, which allows serving as a multi-purpose space to facilitate housing events, a fully bricked walkway, which runs from Columbus Drive to Duhaney Drive, a fully bricked shutting trail, 4 planter boxes and seat areas, and increased lighting through the installation of solar lamps and 2 additional street lights. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.